are on the road making our way to Poinsett State Park in South Carolina. We're going to spend a couple nights scamping and also going to go check out the Congaree National Park. So here we go. As always, it's great to be back out on the road. This is our first road trip in 3 long months, and this serves to kick off the 2022 scamping season. I've been looking forward to this trip because it's really my first time visiting South Carolina. Now, we've hit up a few spots here and there, but typically it's just a state we pass through on our way to some other destination, so it's nice to really spend some time visiting South Carolina. Here we are hitting up the Welcome Center in South Carolina, and surprisingly, I think it's actually my first time being inside of here. Typically when we're passing by, it's in the nighttime. I think we've slept there before, but I've never actually been in the Welcome Center. We stopped and gathered some information about some of the places we'd be seeing along our trip. Gotta love Buc-ee's. I'm pretty stoked that there's finally going to be one this close to our home. I'm glad that they're expanding out. At the time that we passed it, the Florence location had not opened yet, but it will be very soon. Leaving 95, it's about a 30-minute drive to get to the Poinsett State Park campground, which is our destination. It's a nice scenic country drive, real easy. Poinsett State Park is located in the high hills of Santee in Sumter County. It was opened in 1936 and was built by the Civilian Conservation Corps. Some of the most popular activities in the park include hiking and biking the many trails within the park. Day use fees for the park are $3 per adult and $1 per child, which I think is pretty reasonable. The road which actually leads up to the campground is somewhat narrow. For us, it was not a problem with the Scamp, especially since we didn't encounter anyone else, although I think if you have a bigger rig, this could be a problem potentially. Here we are approaching the campground. The campground has 24 sites with water and electric hookups, and some can accommodate RVs up to 40 feet. There are 26 tent sites. Each site has a picnic table and a fire ring. Alright, so here's our campsite. It's campsite 2 on the first circle here at the Poinsett State Park. It's about 2 o'clock, so we got here in pretty good time today. So we have to go check in somewhere, so I got to figure out where that may be. I don't see any office or anything like that, so I'm going to go read this sign up here, see if I can figure this out. Alright, so after rereading that sign, I'm thinking I don't actually have to check in with anyone, but I'm going to do a walk around the campground, check it out, get my bearings, figure out where everything is. Like I said, the bathhouse, I assume that's what that building is over yonder, right over there. But yeah, they mentioned that there's an office. I'm gonna see if I can't find that because there was no gate at the front. You know, there's a place to pay for admission. I assumed we didn't need to do that since we have a campsite, but I'd love to find a map or something like that, a trail map if nothing else, so I can figure this park out. I think we're gonna go to Congaree National Park tomorrow. Since it's middle afternoon, I think we're just gonna get camp all set up and kind of enjoy this park a little bit. Plan to do Congaree tomorrow. You know, I think we have one day for that, and from what I've read or watched, one day should be enough. But anyways, let's check this campground out. Well, it looks like there's more sites back here and to the left, so it's not as straightforward of a single loop as I'd as I'd guessed. I don't know, I really would love to try to find a map or something like that so I can figure this out a little better. There's a sign up here. This looks like it's maybe for a trail, but we'll find something eventually. All right, now here we're starting to get somewhere. We got some contact numbers. If you can find the park office, I guess they have ice cream there, but there is a trail map here. So that's cool. Where is this park office going to be? That's the question. The star. It's going to be right here. So we're here in the campground. Guess we passed. I saw this building from afar and thought maybe it'd be some kind of office, but apparently it's not. I guess it's just kind of like an enclosed area. Yeah, it's got some tables. I guess you could eat here. I don't know if these are toys that some visitor left or if they just go with the room. It looks like, yeah, magazines and toys. I don't know. This is kind of bizarre. Fireplace, something different, and a few books too. So I don't know. Something kind of unusual. I've never really seen a place like this in a campground. But anyways, I don't think we'll have any use for this. Oh, here we go. This is the recreation building. Okay, yeah. Don't think we'll be using this. Alright, so here I've confirmed that what I suspected before to be the bathhouse to in fact be the bathhouse. There's the men's side, ladies on the opposite. And as far as bathhouses go, it'll work, and everything in there seems to work and it's pretty clean, so it's not even that far from our campsite, so pretty good. Alright, so we're unhooked and mostly settled in our campsite, but I'm feeling a little discombobulated right now. Not quite sure where anything is, so we're gonna go try to find the park office. The map I found suggests it's near the entrance, but when we came in I didn't see it, so I probably just totally overlooked it, but we're gonna go see if we can find it now and get some information or a map or something. Alright, we left the campground, we turned the other direction. Not far from that is where we need to be. There's a pond here, there's a place with all the information I was looking for. There's an office over here, and couldn't find out they have alligators here too. I didn't know, but I guess we'll watch out for those. The park is named after amateur botanist and South Carolina native Joel Roberts Poinsett, the first American ambassador to Mexico. Fun fact, the poinsettia is named after him. At last, I finally found the park office. In addition to gifts for sale, they can also provide useful information from the park rangers who work in the office. There are kayaks available that you can rent for just $10 an hour. One cool thing to check out in the park are the remains of a pre-Revolutionary War era grist mill. The mill was owned by a man named Levi, and appropriately is called Levi's Mill. Running through the park is a section of the Palmetto Trail, which is a planned 500-mile trail leading from the mountains to the Intracoastal Waterway, of which 350 miles are complete. In addition to kayaks, you can also rent canoes, john boats, or paddle boats. Each are $10 an hour. There's two shelters here. There's the overlook and the hilltop. We're gonna go take a look at the overlook shelter first, and then after that we'll check out the hilltop. In here's the view from the overlook shelter. And here is the hilltop shelter. Alright, so now I got the lay of the land much better. It's actually not that complicated at all as far as the roads go. There's not a lot of driving area. I guess when we came in, I was just so focused on finding the campground. I was looking at the signs and only thinking about that, and I completely missed where it said the office was. But once you found the pond and the office, it all starts to make a whole lot of sense. You know, it's a pretty good area over there by the pond. Fishing seems pretty popular. It's probably the most popular area in the park. But there's a lot of trails connecting it, so I'll probably go check some of those trails out here today. And that'll be pretty much what we do today. Alright, so if I've read my trail map correctly, this path here, which leads right off from the campground, should, a short while, I should see a restroom, and then I should see the Whippoorwill Trail, which I'm going to start on that and just be on that for a short minute. And I think I'm trying to connect with the Scout Loop Trail. It's about a 1 to 2 mile trail, loop trail. Start with that. It's weird. There's a lot of trails, and then the way they interweave in and out of each other, I can't quite figure out the logic behind it, but I'm just going to sort of bounce around between them and just, you know, meander about the trail system. All right, so this looks to be some kind of group primitive area. Looks like that's a scout group there. Yeah, I saw a bunch of kids up by the overlook shelter. I figured something like that, a scout group or a church group, youth group or something like that. This seems to be a pretty popular park for those kind of group activities, and I can understand why, you know. But anyways, should see that restaurant up here soon, and then I'll know I'm on the right track. Let's see. Alright, so there is the restroom and the wash station for this group camping area, which tells me the trails should be somewhere over here. Head over this way and see if I can find them. The blazes for the scout trail should be like an orangish. And when I get there, I'm going to go about it in a counterclockwise fashion, so we'll cut right and start that off. So let's see. Yep, I see the yellow blazes for the whippoorwill, so the scout should be right up here. Yeah, all right, well, there it is, the Scout Trail. Yep, all right, so at least their maps are pretty good and the markings are pretty good. But as I said, I want to go counterclockwise, so we'll follow this one here. Yeah, I gotta give credit to them. The map actually is right on the money, and the trails are well marked. Good signs and good blazes. You know, I don't know why when I first looked at it and studied it, it seemed confusing to me. Kind of like the roads, where I guess I just need to, you know, take a moment and figure it all out, and it all makes sense. And sure enough, it does. So, all right, let's go see what this trail has to offer. So the Scout Loop Trail is a nice, easy trail. It's very wide and mostly flat. I think pretty much anyone can do it. I do gotta say, there are quite a few bugs here, and it is mid-May, and I bet you in another month or two it'll be even worse than it is now. But you know, even though there's a lot of them, for whatever reason, they're not like bugging me. When I say that, I mean they're not really biting me. Well, now that I've opened my mouth, I'm sure I've jinxed myself and they're about to start tearing me up. But so far, hasn't been that bad. Alright, so having done about 2/3 of the Scout Loop Trail, I'm going to go ahead and jump off of that around number 31 here, just to go see something different. I'm going to head over towards kind of where that pond was by the office, and check out some of the trails that connect over there and see what that looks like. I did like the Scout Trail. You know, it's mostly flat, pretty easy. You know, it's a nice forest walk. It's a nice, well-maintained forest trail. You know, it doesn't have amazing, breathtaking views or anything like that. No, but, you know, I like a nice forest trail. So for that, you know, I thought it was pretty good. I'm not sure if any of the trails here really are going to give you any kind of, like, amazing, you know, viewpoints or scenery or anything like that. You know, but, you know, for what it is, you know, if you enjoy a walk through a forest nature trail and you're expecting that, you know, you won't be disappointed by this. So I've always liked the look of the Spanish moss, or the old man's beard, as I've heard it called, and you know, it's quite prevalent in some areas of this park, and pretty cool looking. I get a certain vibe off it that I like. All right, so this next trail I'm gonna go check out. It's the Splice Trail. Starting up here, and according to the map, this should take us back towards where the cabins are. So we can get a look at those, and then cut over, do some more trails on the other side of the pond, maybe from where we were before. And then I think I'm gonna take the campground road back to our campsite and start settling in for the night. But right now it's the Splice Trail. So the Splice Trail is not as wide as the Scout Loop Trail, but it's by no means difficult. It's a nice trail. These trails are popular for biking. Now, I'm not a biker, but I think these would be enjoyable if you're into that kind of thing. The Splice continues this way, but the cabins are this way. So let's walk up here just to at least get a look at one of them, just to get some idea as to what they're like. All right, this one looks either vacant or they're just not here at the moment, but they look pretty nice. I don't want to get too close in case someone's actually staying here, but they got a nice swing. And looks like they got grills, so it's pretty cool. All right, let's keep going with our hike. The rates vary throughout the year, but at this time of the year, the cabins range from about $100 to $135. RV sites range from about $25 to $35, and tent sites range from about $15 to $25. All right, leaving Splice, we're jumping on a new trail now called Laurel, and this should start taking us back like towards where the pond is. Now, I'd heard that this park had a pretty unique biodiversity, and it was on the Laurel Trail when this really became noticeable to me. I did enjoy all of the trails that I hiked, but of the three, Laurel Trail is definitely my favorite. I spotted an armadillo, and that was pretty cool. I actually spooked him, and that was pretty cute to see him run away. This is him afterwards. I wish the footage was a little better, but still pretty cool nevertheless. I love it when the conditions are right and the water reflects almost like a mirror. We were very lucky as it was an extremely beautiful day. Alright, so those trails were all really cool. I'm glad I did them. Never seen an armadillo before, other than on the side of the road, so that was pretty cool. So I'm going to start heading back to the campground now. It should only be about a 10-minute walk, get back there and start settling in to chill out for the rest of the night. Alright y'all, so it's been a pretty full day. Between driving down here from Colonial Beach, getting our campsite all set up, doing a quick tour of the main features of the park, and then getting some good hikes in on the trails. I got about 5 miles in. You know, I feel like I got a lot done today. And really, we're just getting started. This is a good campground. It's going to work out well for us. Really, we stayed here, you know, because we wanted to go see Congaree National Park. And I learned that the campgrounds at Congaree, they only accommodate primitive tent camping, so we had to look elsewhere. This looked to be the best campground in a reasonable proximity. You know, it's under an hour drive to get there. I think we made a good choice because we had a good day today. It's a good spot for us. I like the campground, and tomorrow look forward to going and checking out another national park. But like I said, tonight I'm going to enjoy my time here and just relax, spend time scamping at our campsite in Poinsett State Park. All right. As we settled in for the night to enjoy our campsite, we're looking forward to the next day and our visit to Congaree National Park. Thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give me the thumbs up. And consider liking and subscribing to follow along with our journeys. There's going to be more to come because scamps like us are born to camp. Later.